Work. And joining us in studio this morning is Dr. Brian Murphy from Pinnacle Physical Therapy. Dr. Murphy has been with us before, and he has developed a special program, and I wanted to know more about it. Tell us about this program you've got for us over the winter months.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I have developed a 12-week golf program, and basically what it does is it focuses on certain key areas of the body and how those areas relate to enhancing your golf game. So one area is balance, another is specific strengthening of the upper body, then strengthening of the lower body. Mobility, as we all know, as we age, things don't move as efficiently as they used to.
You're talking to Noah about the flood. Yes,
Right.
I'm pretty aware of that.
Core strength and stability for low back pain is a big thing that keeps a lot of golfers off the course, so that's another area we focus on. And then also a dynamic warm-up.
I see. Well, what do you see that happens to players who don't take care of themselves through the winter months, then just go out there and start playing? Are there a lot of injuries as a result of not being fit?
Typically, I mean, it's hard to say what exactly causes injury, but I think certainly when you put the golf clubs away for 3 or 4 months and then all of a sudden the warm weather comes around and you wonder why the game's not quite as sharp as it used to be, I think this is a good opportunity to keep that fitness that you have now and also think about working on your body in the off season so that when you're ready to go come April, you're going to be playing golf well right away.
You know, Ryan, talking about some of the programs there, you talked about the importance of core strength. Something that I know it's something that a lot of people have always just sort of assumed mattered, but it seems like in every activity that seems to be the point where people probably need to pay more attention than they do. Would you agree?
I agree with that. I mean, I think you have to look at, unfortunately, a lot of us golfers are also working professionals, and we find ourselves sitting at desks and communicating on our devices. That puts us into postures that aren't necessarily conducive to the golf game. It puts a lot of stress on the low back, the neck, those certain areas of mobility, especially in the hips and the upper back. If you don't have mobility there, then the low back takes a lot more stress, and that's where the core strength comes in. So it's really a combination of attacking the deficits of mobility above and below the low back, but then, like you just said, strengthening that area too to ensure that you are staying away from those back injuries.
You know, as a golfer, kind of dust the clubs off in February. Here in Arkansas, you can start playing again regularly late February, early March. Listening to the body, listening to what the body's telling you in terms of aches, pains, pulls, nags. What are some of the areas you should pay closest attention to as you get back into your routines, as you start working back into the game, if someone doesn't take good care of themselves physically in the off-season?
Yeah, I think this program really kind of highlights certain areas that I think a lot of golfers don't even realize they have problems with. Namely balance and that kind of core strength. That is a term that gets misconstrued a lot of times. The core area of the body really encompasses a lot more than just the front side. There's the back of the lumbar spine or low back. There's the sides of your body, your breathing muscle, the diaphragm plays a role. So I think to your question, Charlie, listening to your body, and really what I'm hoping is that this program over January, February, and March is actually a preventative opportunity to really learn a little bit more about your body, and hopefully you won't have to be listening to those little nags and snags when season comes around.
Now tell us a little bit more about the program. This is over the internet, or do we come to your place?
Yes, there's a couple different opportunities, and I've actually developed a website. It's arkansasgolfhealth.com, and on that website there's a bunch more information, but it's meant to be done in small groups, ideally in the Little Rock area. And you could bring your playing partner because there's somebody that you're already familiar with, and there's an accountability partner for you. So I'm offering that at my office and also here locally at Chenal Country Club, where we take a small group through. There's sessions that we do together, and then through that website, there's content, videos, and additional resources, and some educational write-ups that I've done on those specific areas to kind of explain a little bit more about why we should care. But also there's a remote option. So if you're anywhere else in Arkansas, I didn't want to exclude keeping all our Arkansas golfers healthy. There's a remote option as well where you can just kind of have access to that content and do it starting the first week of January.
I wanted everybody to know, too, that Brian has been involved in sports medicine and rehabilitation since about 2005. He's a doctor of physical therapy, did his residency, trained orthopedic clinical specialist, and this is the part I think that will impress a lot of you. It impressed me. You're TPI certified, which is the Titleist Performance Institute, and I know you spent time in Jupiter, Florida. Tell us a little bit about that area, because it's just overflowing with golfers these days.
Yeah, talk about it. It seems like the theme for our show today is, talking about guys like Brooks Koepka and Dustin Johnson. These guys are powerful athletes, and I had the opportunity to be down in Jupiter and help Jupiter Medical Center develop their golf health program, where physical therapists trained in helping golfing athletes were housed out of the different country clubs in that area. So I had the opportunity to work with a lot of great golfers, not only on the professional level, but also more recreationally. And it's just I think it's a great way that we can keep our golfers here in Arkansas healthy. So I brought the idea back here, and really it's just about awareness. I kind of tell my patients that I'm the 401k for your golfing body. You kind of put in your time now in order to pay dividends later in your game, to be able to have that longevity and enjoy the game well into your golden years.
You know, Brian, you're in this clinic down in Florida, and I'm fascinated by that. And I always ask this because I'm always curious about the habits of successful people. What was the one trait in terms of fitness, in terms of routine, every professional you worked with, what was the one trait they all shared? Because golf is individual in its own right. We all swing the golf club differently. We all try to get the club head back to square in our own little way. Arnold Palmer said, swing your swing. What's the one trait they all shared that you saw the commonality with?
Yeah, I think that's a great question, Charlie. And I think one thing that we all could do better at, that I've seen the pros do really well, is some kind of dynamic warm-up. These guys hit an exorbitant amount of golf balls, and before they play, before they practice, they're doing a dedicated 30 to 45 minutes of some kind of dynamic warm-up. That means working on mobility. That means activating certain muscles. That means being potentially stretched out by their physical therapist or their personal trainer. So I see a lot of people go to the driving range, they pull out a club, they swing 2 times, and then they're off and going. That's not a dynamic warm-up. There's some research. There's some research out there that even a 5-minute dynamic warm-up can increase your club head speed. I don't know a bigger bang for your buck than having some kind of ability to get your body ready to play a very dynamic sport.
Let's go back to Jupiter, Florida for a moment. Who are some of the players that you would see on the range down there? Because it seems like everybody lives there now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those places where, some of those big name golfers are located, it's pretty much like Fort Knox. You can't get in there. But yeah, I had the opportunity to be in a few tournaments down there as a medical provider, where Ricky Fowler was playing, and Dustin Johnson, Brooks Koepka, Ernie Els is down there, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods, some of these big names, and, to see those guys out on the range and playing on the course, it was really exciting.
You mentioned the importance of physical training for this game and to stay fit over the winter months. Tiger Woods sort of brought this to golf, I think. he and Gary Player before him really emphasized the importance of physical fitness to play the game of golf. And now we see players who are not only, great golfers, but they're physical specimens. Charlie and I were just talking about Brooks Koepka. He looks like he could play linebacker. Yeah. This guy's huge, and he's big, and he's strong. And Dustin Johnson and Brooks Koepka used the same trainer, and I remember reading an article about both of them being furious when they were featured as buddies in Sports Illustrated that they did not show the trainer, and it made both of them really mad. They were really close to their trainer.
Yeah, Joey D down in Jupiter, he is he is the guy that works with Brooks and Dustin, and also now Justin Thomas a little bit. I feel like you're right. The athletes now, and really they're athletes. They've always been athletes, but now you can see it even more. A lot of them came from a multi-sport background. Baseball, Jordan Spieth; basketball, Dustin Johnson; Brooks Koepka, like you said, guy looks like a linebacker. He hits the ball a mile. These guys know the importance of working on their bodies to be the best, and we can take that example for our own games to help enhance. It's not always about beating balls. It's about really kind of focusing on your body, and this program will give an opportunity just for that over the winter months here.
All right, let's give them the information on the program one last time before we go to break. Again, if I want to participate in your program to improve my performance, how do I do so?
Yeah, thanks, Bob. You can visit ArkansasGolfHealth.com, and everything's right through that website. It gives all the information that you need. I also would like to give away for any of the listeners that are interested a free utilization of the remote option. It's a $100 value, and all you do to participate in that is the first caller that will call me on my work phone, the number is 501-529-2010. I will give you that free access to the entire 12-week program.
Give the number again.
501-529-2010.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Murphy. We appreciate it. When we come back, we're going to be talking to Alex Myers of Golf Digest.
Hindman Park Golf Course is known as the most challenging of Little Rock's municipal golf courses, with over